Do you remember this little boy? Last week we told you about 6-year-old Ford O'Neill who was bitten by a copperhead snake. Well, his family says now he's going to be okay. Ever since that day, snake stories have been near the top of our social media platforms, and people want to know, where are the snakes and what should I do if I see one, other than run, of course. Here's another question. What happens if I'm bitten? Well, 11 Alive's Joe Fliccari went to an expert from the Georgia Poison Center.
If you're bitten, what are the top things you need to do?
Number one, get to an emergency room. In fact, what I say, the antidote for a snake bite are car keys. Number two, never try to grab the snake, pick up the snake. We've had a number of cases now where someone has been struck. They go and try to grab the snake and they get struck again.
So I shouldn't grab my cell phone and take a cell phone pic of it for the hospital?
Oftentimes, if you try to get too close, I'd hate for that snake to strike back a second time. Third, don't cut, don't suck. Those old movies that we used to see on TV where they're trying to suck the venom out, that doesn't work. And the last thing is, don't put any ice. Studies have shown that when people try to put ice at the site, they actually speed the venom through their system and make them more toxic.
Nobody wants to get bit by a snake, but the second reason is how expensive it is when you go to the hospital.
This is definitely not a cheap adventure. When you look at a total cost, it's not unusual for someone to get out of the hospital with a $250,000 bill.
How much is one shot?
Upwards between $5,000 and $10,000, and you may need multiple vials of this antivenom.
So snakes don't chase you down, like in the movies?
They absolutely do not. And that's why if you see a snake, yes, continue on. If you try to play around with them, that's when they get upset.
I know, just run. All right.